Hey, what's up, Nerd Squad? We're back with another NFL mock draft. We decided that I'm not going to use PFF's mock draft simulator this time. I'm actually going to be using the Draft Network simulator this time. I wasn't a big fan of PFF's rankings. I do like how they have a free trading system, so you can perform trades. Um, this mock draft isn't going to have trades in it, so I think the Draft Network's simulator is better in my opinion. So we're gonna go ahead and use that one. We'll go ahead and select all. We are only going to be doing one round. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. I mean, for the Jags, it's pretty obvious. It's going to be Trevor Lawrence. That's pretty set in stone. Um, Jets, yeah, I think they're still taking Zach Wilson. There's been a little bit more talk recently that they may try to take Justin Fields, but I don't believe that. I think they're still, all in on Zach Wilson. So, with the 49ers, now, I personally think they should go for either Justin Fields or Trey Lance, preferably Justin Fields. But man, there's still so much talk about them getting Mac Jones. And I mean, I don't think that's completely, unrealistic. I don't think it's a smart move, but I think I, I, I do think there's a genuine chance that the Niners do take Mac Jones. So we're gonna go ahead and take him there. With the Atlanta Falcons, um, this is a hard one for me. Um, I still think it's very possible that they take a quarterback. I think it's possible they take Trey Lance, or sorry, Kyle Pitts. I think it's possible they take Kyle Pitts. I also think it's very possible that they, trade back a little bit. There's talks about them possibly trading back with the Broncos or even the Patriots. I think either one is very possible. Um, I think they realistically take Kyle Pitts out of Florida. I think Matt Ryan still has a few pretty decent years left in him. Um, why not go ahead and, build the team around him a little bit more, and then, you know, when it comes time that Matt Ryan just isn't performing well anymore, then they can get their quarterback of the future, and they're not going to skip a beat and will keep being contenders. So now with the Cincinnati Bengals, now I personally think they should take Penei Sewell. I really do. Joe Burrow needs protection. Okay, he needs that protection. Um, but I've also heard rumors that he's pushing to get Jamar Chase, and that they're very high on Jamar Chase. Um, I mean, I've seen countless reports about the Bengals really being in on Jamar Chase. I don't know if it's a smoke screen so they can get Penei Sewell. I don't know. I think they should take Penei Sewell, but I think they're gonna go Jamar Chase. Um, I mean, honestly, it's a pretty classic Bengals move. Go for the sexy pick instead of what you actually need. So yeah, that'll be interesting. Now with the Dolphins, this is another situation that kind of intrigues me. I think they could trade back again. Um, if Jamar Chase is on the board, I think they absolutely take him. But if him and Kyle Pitts are off the board, I think they're more likely to trade back. However, since we're not doing trades, I think they're gonna settle for in my opinion, second best receiver in the draft, and that's Devontae Smith. Now with the Lions, um, there's a few ways the Lions could go. I've been hearing more and more talk about them possibly getting a quarterback. There's rumors about them trying for Micah Parsons. Obviously, wide receiver. With if the board goes this way, what do Lions fans want? Do they want to take Jalen Waddle? Do they want to get Micah Parsons and try to fix that defense? Do they want to try to get, their quarterback of the future in Fields or Lance? Like, what do Lions fans really want to do here? Um, I think it makes sense for them to take Jalen Waddle, but they also need to fix that defense so much. And I think they're solid enough of wide receivers in like the second and third rounds that you just gotta fix your defense as soon as possible. And I think they're gonna try to take Micah Parsons. But again, that's one that I could very well see a trade happening. I can see a quarterback, going to them. I can see really the best wide receiver available. And again, if Jamar Chase or maybe even Devontae Smith were there, I think they would take him. But where there's good enough wide receivers later on, and there's a big drop off for linebackers, I think they need to prioritize getting Micah Parsons right there. Now with the Carolina Panthers, there's been more rumors about them trying for Justin Fields, and I don't think that's necessarily a long shot, but I think they are really going to try to protect Sam Darnold, really give him the best chance possible to succeed, and I think they're going to take Penei Sewell. Finally have a franchise left tackle. I think this, if he actually falls to them, I think this could be an absolute steal for the Panthers. Now, the Denver Broncos, if he's here, it's no debate. Like, don't even think twice. Justin Fields. I don't even need to take the time to wait there. I think the Broncos would definitely take Fields. Now, the Dallas Cowboys, I think they're gonna really try to take corner. I can't remember who it was within the Cowboys organization. It wasn't Jerry Jones, but it was one of them saying that, you know, if you know, if there is a good offensive tackle that falls to them, they'll consider it, but they've really got their eyes on a corner. Again, I can't remember who within the organization said it. I know it wasn't Jerry Jones, but I kind of trust that. I think they're going to go for Patrick Surtain. I could also see him going for J.C. Horn. I've seen Rashawn Slater mocked to the Cowboys as well, but I just really don't think they're going to go there. I think they're really going to try to fix their defense. Now we've got the New York Giants. This one, I'm actually going to have them take Rashawn Slater. The reason I'm not giving them a wide receiver is because, yeah, they just got Kenny Golladay. I think Darius Slayton can still be a really solid wide receiver. I'm sure they'll use Saquon as a receiving threat again as well. They've still got Evan Ingram. I think they really want to try to protect Daniel Jones. And, their tackles aren't necessarily terrible. I think Andrew Thomas can still be pretty good. But Rashawn Slater, he's a guy that can really play anywhere on the O-line. I don't know about center, but he can definitely play either tackle or either guard position. He has that versatility, and I think this would be a really good pick for the Giants. The Eagles, I think they really need to take a wide receiver. They need to fix their weapons. I think it was dumb of them to trade back and not, try to get Jamar Chase or Devontae Smith or something. But here at 12, I think they take Jalen Waddle. Now with the Chargers, don't even think twice. I'm going to give them Christian Darrisaw. I think this is the most realistic pick for them if they don't trade up. I've heard rumors about them trading up with the Lions to possibly try to take Penei Sewell. That would be absolutely incredible. I don't know if it'll happen, but if they sit there at 13, I think Darrisaw is the most logical and most likely pick there. Now the Minnesota Vikings, their corner they took in the first round last year, Jeff Gladney, he got arrested, and they really need more corner help. I know they signed Patrick Peterson, but I'm not sure really how good he's gonna be there. He's really started to decline in recent years. I'm gonna go ahead and have them take J.C. Horn. He's a really physical corner, and I think with some of the receivers in the NFC North, You got Devontae Adams. Um, you've got Allen Robinson. I mean, who knows with the Lions if they did take a wide receiver there, he might be, a pretty big threat. I think J.C. Horn is going to be an absolute must for the Vikings there, if Darrisaw is off the board. Now the Patriots, I'm going to go ahead and give them Trey Lance. Um, he's really intriguing to me. He currently is my number 4 quarterback in the draft, but he has a lot of upside. He's got he's got a lot of talent in that deep ball, and I think if he's given the right weapons, and the right coaching, he can have a really good deep ball, and he's really athletic. He's really raw right now, so I think he'll definitely need to sit behind Cam Newton for a year. So, but I think in 2022 he's going to come out and play really well. I think. Now the Cardinals, there's been talks of them possibly trading up for a wide receiver. The main one I've heard is Jalen Waddle. I don't think that's very smart of them. I think they have good enough receivers. They really need to fix, I think, their O line and corners. Um, this is a hard one for me though. I don't know which one to give them. I could see them in this situation possibly trading back a few spots. Um, I've had Caleb Farley mocked clear back to the Titans before. I think he's gonna I think he's gonna go to the Cardinals right here. I think there's gonna be a big need for corners in this class, and I think they'll go ahead and take Caleb Farley. I mean, the Raiders completely depleted their O line. They lost all their O line except for is it Colton Miller? I think he's the remaining one. They need to fix their O line immediately. I think they're gonna get Tevin Jenkins. However, I could also see them take any spot on defense because their defense is just horrendous right now. I think them depleting their O line like that was a terrible idea, and they really just need to fix their defense. I think they're gonna start trying to really rebuild because there's even recent reports of them possibly trying for a quarterback. So I think they're trying to just completely, do a rebuild. I don't know what they're doing. I this is it's blowing my mind. I don't know you know, why they're doing this, but yeah, I think they try to fix their O line again and get Tevin Jenkins out of Oklahoma State. Now we have the Dolphins again. I agree. They really need an edge rusher. I will be completely honest here. My edge rusher one in this class is Jason Owe. Number two, I would put Jalen Phillips, but I think Jason Owe is just too good of a fit in Miami. Um, yeah, I know Draft Network has him ranked really low. I think he's going to be really good. He has elite speed off the edge, like Brian Burns type of speed off the edge. Um, I think he's going to be a force in Miami. I think people are really sleeping on Jason Owe. Now we have the Washington football team. I mean, all the quarterbacks are off the board, so obviously they can't really do that unless they trade back for a guy like, we'll say, Kellen Mond or even Kyle Trask. Instead, I think they're gonna go ahead. I think they're gonna try to take Jeremiah Owosu Koromora. Koromoa. Sorry, that name is so hard to say. He's so versatile. He can rush off the edge. He can play middle linebacker. He can play outside linebacker. Hell, he can probably play strong safety if you wanted. He's so versatile. He reminds me a lot of like a Jeremy Chin, Derwin James, possibly even Darius Leonard type of guy. He's so good. I think that's going to make that Washington defense top 3 in the NFL, possibly even top 2. And now the Chicago Bears. They could really fix up their interior O line. I think they're going to try to take Elijah Vera Tucker. I could also see them snagging Christian Barmore or Zaven Collins right there, but I think they're really going to try to give Andy Dalton the best chance as possible to succeed there. So they'll take Elijah Vera Tucker. Now the Colts. This is a hard one. I think in this type of situation they'll be looking more for an edge rusher, which, yeah, there's a few guys available. I'm really not that high on Kwity Paye. I would put Jalen Phillips as my number 2 edge and Azeez Ojulari as my number 3 with Kwity Paye at number 4. I'm going to go ahead and give them Jalen Phillips. I think that'll really help their pass rush, especially with some of their D line starting to get a little older. I think that's really going to give them some good youth and, really reinforce that D line more. Now with the Titans, they really need a corner. They let both of their starting corners go this offseason. I think they try to take Greg Newsome. Again, I've had Caleb Farley fall to him before. I don't think he will in this class or in this draft. I think there's a lot of teams that really need a corner, and they'll be going a lot quicker than a lot of people think. So now we have the Jets. Now, I'll be honest, my brother's going to hate me for this because he's a big Steelers fan and wants Najee Harris. I'm going to have Najee Harris go to the Jets. If you get an offense with Zach Wilson, Najee Harris, and then, they've got kind of more solid receivers now. Jamison Crowder wasn't terrible last year, but he wasn't great. And then they also picked up... Who was the receiver they picked up this offseason? He wasn't like a super big name receiver, but he was solid. I can't think of his name right now. But I think their offense will be a lot, better if they get Najee Harris. So now with him gone, I think the Steelers would try to either trade back or fix their O-line. With them losing Alejandro Villanueva, I think they may honestly... I think it's a little bit of a reach. I think they're going to try to take Alex Leatherwood out of Alabama. I normally wouldn't take him until, early to mid second round, maybe even late second round, possibly. But the Steelers' O-line really needs help, especially run offense help. And I think Alex Leatherwood really helps. I think he can be a really, powerful offensive tackle. I don't look at him as much of an athlete, more just like a powerhouse type of guy. So I think he'd be a solid fit there in Pittsburgh. Now the Jacksonville Jaguars. There's no really great offensive linemen still on the board here. I am going to have the Jags... I'm going to have them fix their D-line a little bit and take Christian Barmore. Now the Browns are a tough one for me. What do they really need? They just got Jadeveon Clowney. They did release Sheldon Richardson, but what interior defensive lineman? You'd be reaching pretty heavily for, someone like that. I do think Kwity Paye could play inside. That's kind of the main area I think the Browns should try to go. If Christian Barmore's there, absolutely take him. But I think Kwity Paye can play interior and gives them some versatility. I think they should try to go for Kwity Paye right here. I could also see Zaven Collins because they could use a little bit of linebacker help, or even a corner possibly. But Kwity Paye, I think, can play a little bit of interior and really help shore up that interior D-line. Now the Ravens. Now, okay, I've seen a lot of people really high on Rashad Bateman and Elijah Moore. Okay, they are good players, but I think people are really, really sleeping on Kadarius Toney from Florida. I I have him as my wide receiver four behind the big three and Jamar Chase, Devontae Smith,